am one of the owners of Yoga Lab and Barre Lab. So I was born in Hong Kong. I moved to Canada and was 8 years old. So I spent most of my childhood in Vancouver. Then I moved here 10 years ago. I now run Yoga Lab with Jasmine and Catherine. I started yoga when I was in my early 20s. When I was in university back then, there was this really nice, quaint little studio right across from where my apartment was, and I just kind of went over that one day, and everyone was in child's pose. And then ever since that day, I actually really felt like I always wanted that kind of peace and serenity. I really got that as soon as I walked into that studio. Yeah, and then ever since that day, I have been wanting to have that for myself, and that's how I really started. My greatest yoga inspirations are my kids. I have 2 beautiful kids, Tyler and Summer. I feel like I'm learning from them every single day. I don't know why I want to cry. Yeah, they have been such a strength pillar for me, and every day is a learning journey with them. I feel like many times when I'm not doing my yoga on the mat, I'm definitely doing my yoga when I'm with them. Kids, they do have the ability to push you to that space that you feel like, you know. But at the same time, they definitely bring out the best in you. I've learned to be so much more patient with other people. I've learned to be a lot more compassionate ever since, I have these beautiful kids. My teaching is very heavily influenced by Barre Baptiste. I am a certified Baptiste instructor. I have been practicing with Barre ever since I opened my very first yoga studio, which was in 2010. In the beginning, I didn't really resonate with the methodology or with his teaching, but slowly, programs after program, I have felt like a lot has shifted for me personally and professionally, and I do give him, all the credits for that, because he has been such a great inspiration for me in a way that he believes in me when I do not believe in myself. It is definitely a methodology I want to spread across a little bit more in Singapore. That's definitely one of my goals in the near future, just to share something that is so close to my heart, because I feel like it has changed me and has shifted me so much, and I want everyone else to be able to experience what I've been experiencing with him. For me, teaching yoga is more than teaching. For me, yoga is about sharing what I know, what I love. I'm not a super chatty person. Some would say that I'm a little bit more timid in nature. I'm a little bit more of a quiet person, but when I'm up in the front, when I'm teaching, I'm just there. I'm just there with my students. I'm just there with my grounding, with my mountain pose, because I feel like this has created such a platform, such a great space for me to share something I'm so passionate about. In a class full of 40 people, 30 people, 20 people, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if I actually made a difference to just that one person, my job is done. So not necessarily bending my students into certain kind of shapes, but if that's what they want, of course they feel free to do things like that, because that is definitely a part of the yoga. But at the end of the day, I want everyone to come out of my class feeling very wholesome, feeling very inside to the outside, feeling good. And that is my intention for all the classes I teach. So this will be my coming 8th year of having yoga studios or running yoga studios, and from 1 to 2, and then I went to 1, and then from 1 we had 2, and then we had 3, we had 4, and now we have 3 yoga studios and we have 1 bar studio. So that journey has been a long heck of a ride, I would say. Within these studios, within the past 8 years, so many things have shifted for me personally too. And I got married, I had the first kid, and I had the second kid. 8 years ago, the studio owner back then and the studio owner I am right now is a different person. And I really believe we all evolve in different ways, and we all evolve with our circumstances and what we're dealing with. Something that has never really changed is yoga studios for me is really about the people. It's about our teachers, about our front desk, and even about the cleaners, about our students, and just really having that community there. Because I feel like if we make it about the people, the success and the other stuff will come in. If our intention is definitely something else, and then we forget about the people, I don't think that would work, especially in the long run. It does not align with the vision that that I have for yoga studio, and I can definitely say that on behalf of Jasmine and Kat as well too. Yoga Lab right now is because of the people who work for us. It's just about everybody coming together. Barre Lab was found from passion. I remember walking into my first barre class 2 years ago when I was visiting Vancouver. I'm like, this is interesting. This is very different from what I'm used to, very different than the yoga practice I'm used to. But then there's this barre thing that just kind of popped up everywhere in the world, and then you walk in, and there's music, and then you're pulsing, and then you kind of like fulfilling your own kind of ballerina dream. We want to make Barre Lab as an accessible place for people who have never done yoga, have never done barre, have never done ballet before, but they can come into a barre class and still feel like, hey, they can do this. And I really feel like barre and yoga really complements each other. And if you have not tried a barre class just yet, come to Barre Lab and just try a barre class. Aside from yoga and barre, aside from work, I love spending time with my kids. I love drinking beer. Beer is my thing. I like to enjoy the glass of beer with my husband and spend some quality time with him. I love spending time with my kids, whether it is bringing them to the park, taking them to swimming. It's just really, really nice just to spend some family time together.